right now, somewhere in your home, your pet is watching you. Maybe it's your dog, chin resting on its paws, eyes tracking every move you make. Maybe it's your cat, sitting perfectly still on the windowsill, appearing to ignore you, but positioned exactly where it can see you. You've probably wondered, at least once, what's actually going on inside that head. What do they think about? What do they feel? And the biggest question of all, what do they think about you? We've lived alongside these animals for thousands of years, and we still don't fully know. Until now. Here's what most people assume. They assume their pet experiences them the way a human friend would, that their dog misses them like a person misses a person, that their cat is aloof because it simply doesn't care, that the relationship is fundamentally emotional, built on affection, loyalty, maybe even love. And here's the strange thing. That assumption isn't entirely wrong. It's just incomplete, because what's actually happening is something much older, much deeper, and far more extraordinary than simple affection. To understand what your pet thinks about you, you have to go back, way back. About 15,000 years, that's roughly when it happened. The domestication event. The moment when wolves, not dogs yet, wolves, began edging closer to human camps. Not because humans invited them, but because humans were messy. We left scraps. We created waste piles at the edges of our settlements. And certain wolves, the ones less fearful of humans, discovered that proximity to us was a reliable food strategy. Those wolves survived better. They reproduced more. And over generations, something extraordinary happened. They began to change. Not just physically, though that came too. They changed cognitively. They evolved, specifically and uniquely, to understand human beings. No other animal on Earth did this. Not even our closest genetic relatives. Chimpanzees, who share 98% of our DNA, cannot reliably follow a human pointing gesture. A dog raised in isolation, with no training whatsoever, can. Dogs evolved a dedicated neurological system for reading humans, for tracking our gaze, for interpreting our emotional states, for understanding us. Which raises a question nobody thinks to ask. If dogs evolved to understand us, what exactly do they understand? In 2015, a research team led by Takafumi Nagasawa at Azabu University in Japan published a striking finding. When dogs and their owners made prolonged eye contact, both experienced a significant spike in oxytocin, the same bonding hormone released between mothers and newborns, between humans who are falling in love. Dogs weren't just responding to humans, they were chemically bonding with them. The same ancient biological circuit that evolution built to bind parents to children had been, somehow, hijacked by dogs, redirected toward us. Think about what that means. Your dog doesn't think of you as an owner. It doesn't think of you as a provider or a trainer or even a friend in any human sense of that word. At a neurochemical level, your dog experiences you the way a child experiences a parent. You are safety. You are the emotional center of its entire world, not a relationship it has, a landscape it lives inside. And here's the reversal nobody expects. It goes both ways. Humans release oxytocin when interacting with their pets, too. The same circuit fires, which means that from an evolutionary standpoint, this bond wasn't accidental. It wasn't a side effect. It was a deal struck across thousands of years. Wolves gave us loyalty and utility. We gave them food and shelter, and somewhere along the way, both species got chemically rewired to need each other. Your pet isn't just attached to you. It is, in the most literal biological sense, bonded to you. So what does your pet actually think about all day? Research on dog cognition suggests they don't experience time the way we do. They don't sit by the door counting the hours. They don't plan or anticipate in language, but they do track, constantly, almost obsessively, the emotional texture of their environment. And in a domestic setting, that environment is you. Studies on separation anxiety reveal something telling. Dogs don't respond equally to all absences. A dog left alone for 30 minutes and a dog left alone for 4 hours show similar cortisol spikes, similar stress responses. But what dramatically increases their distress isn't duration, it's uncertainty. Dogs that have no reliable signal for when their owner returns show far more anxiety than dogs with consistent routines. They're not missing you like you miss a friend. They're monitoring you like you monitor the weather. You are the primary condition of their existence. The variable everything else is measured against. Cats are more complicated, but not for the reason most people think. The popular assumption is that cats are independent, indifferent, fundamentally unattached. But a 2019 study from Oregon State University found that cats form secure and insecure attachment bonds with their owners in the same way human infants do with caregivers. When a familiar owner was present, cats explored freely. When the owner left, stress behaviors increased. When the owner returned, secure cats settled immediately. Cats aren't indifferent. They're just quieter about it. Their attachment is real. Their awareness of you is constant. They simply evolved from solitary hunters rather than pack animals, so they express it differently. Less tail wagging, more slow blinks, more choosing to sit in the same room as you without making it obvious. That's not aloofness, that's trust. And what about the animals we don't usually think of this way? The rabbit that perks up when you enter the room, the parrot that learns the specific sound of your footsteps, the guinea pig that only vocalizes when it hears your voice. These aren't trained behaviors, they're attachment responses. The same fundamental drive, track the human, orient toward the human, signal to the human, expressing itself across dozens of species in dozens of different ways. We didn't just domesticate animals, we accidentally became the emotional center of their entire perceptual world, across species, across thousands of years, and most of us never stopped to ask why. Come back to the image that started this, your dog at the window, watching you drive away. You now know what's actually happening in that moment. There's no narrative running in that mind, no replay of your morning together, no countdown until you return. What's there is something more primal and more profound, a physiological state, an orientation toward a specific being that evolution spent thousands of years building, a bond that predates civilization, predates language, predates almost everything we think of as human. Your pet doesn't think about you the way you think about them. They experience you, constantly, at a level deeper than thought. And if that doesn't make you look at your pet a little differently the next time they're watching you from across the room, nothing will.